Hi, you guys. So I want to talk real quick about how maybe a lot of women, if they're willing to receive the education and the information, maybe they need to look at some people's channels and understand how men are wired, right? And when I say that, I'm talking about so-called black women, because I just heard about this Terry Crews thing with Gabrielle Union and how it's, apparently he didn't have her back when it came to this America's Got Talent situation, the same way she had his back when he said he was groped, when he said he was molested, okay? And a lot of people are talking about that, and I'm looking at Chrissy's video, so I'm listening to a clip from The Real when Amanda Seales made a statement about that. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not saying I disagree with her. I completely agree. But at the same time, black women, for the most part, a lot of them still have this problem with understanding how men are wired, right? So Amanda Seales was saying that, and she's still saying our brothers. I just don't like to say our brothers because even if black men were very supportive of black women, I don't use the term my brother and my sister. I never was like that unless I'm really related to you. So, but that's how Amanda Seales said it. She said a lot of times sisters feel like, they don't get support. We don't get support from our brothers. Oftentimes we're there for our brothers and it's not reciprocated, and it's now black women are starting to open up this dialogue because according to Amanda Seales, black men don't know how to stay on code with black women. Black men are on code. That's what they don't understand. It's black women who are not on code. Because it is absolutely ridiculous for women not to care for one another, especially so-called black women, especially when black women know that so many are against them and that so many are against them, okay? So black women are the ones that are off code, not black men. Black men are for black men. Black men are for the brotherhood. White men are for the brotherhood. They just know what it takes to maintain a patriarchy, and that's making sure his mother stay happy. But for the most part, men are for men. Men are for the brotherhood. Okay? Because if men collectively in the world were for women, then it wouldn't be so much heinous things happening to women. It wouldn't be so many rapes. It wouldn't be so many kidnappings. It wouldn't be so much domestic violence in the world. So the fact that all of that is happening just lets you know men worldwide are really not for women like that. They don't respect women like that, but they understand what it takes to maintain a patriarchy, and that means that his woman has to be okay. Now, black men don't feel that way, and that's why it is no patriarchy for black people, okay? But at the same time, they do have a code with each other. So black men, for the most part, are on code, but they're on code with the brotherhood. Black women are the ones that are not on code. But I want to get to understanding how for some reason black women don't seem to get how men think, and it seems like every other group of women just kind of get it. So you cannot win a man's affection. And when I say affection, I'm not talking about the romantic lovey-dovey stuff. I'm just talking about you cannot convince him to protect you while you're so busy protecting him. You can't get mad that he doesn't protect you when every time they get shot by the police, he'll go black women for the most part up at the front lines pumping their fist, okay, and making all these comments and going crazy, okay, just like they doing with Kobe Bryant right now. And going crazy over him, I don't want to keep bringing up his name though. When something happens to a black man altogether, right? Black women don't understand that you cannot protect men. You cannot constantly pump your fist. Instead, no other woman stands at the front line willing to get shot for their group of men, while their group of men stay back and don't do anything for them. No other group of women would do that. And so what black women just would never, a lot of them, many of them, I'll say, What they don't get is that you cannot sit there and be masculine and pump your fist every time a black man gets shot and trying to protect him and baby him and coddle him and not let him be a man, but then really expect him to turn around and do the same thing for him as you've done. I mean, you shouldn't to expect him to turn around and do the same thing for you as you have done for him. That's absolutely ridiculous, and that just shows that black women just don't want to understand how men are wired. It's not just a black man thing. It's not just a black man thing. It is a man thing, period. No man respects a group of women who are masculine, who sits there and protect them and protect their honor, and just really and coddle them, you know, and really have not really set any standards for their group of men. If white women did the same thing as black women did, they would not get the protection from their group of men either. The reason why these group of men are the way they are is because of the wombs that they come from, and it's just a fact. It's because the wombs that they come from set standards for continuing to birth them. Okay, they set standards in order to continue to birth them. That's the wombs that they come from. So it's not necessarily men at large, just they do not respect women. It's just the women, the standards that these other group of women have set for their group of men. That's what it is. Okay, you know, because they know that they have a lot. They know they have a lot of power. Okay, they know they have power, because without them coming through this womb, they ain't gonna be here. Okay, so you know, that's all I want to say is that, you know, the black women just don't get how men think. You know, You cannot be there protecting men like you're some kind of man yourself. Black women are playing the role of the provider themselves and the protector themselves, but they turn around and expect the men to protect them. Well, it has to, which one is it going to be? Either you're going to protect them or you're going to allow them to protect you. It has to be one or the other. Right? And for some reason they don't understand how men are wired, and so they don't get why these men did not reciprocate, why these men did not so-called stay on code, you know, because you need to understand how men think. For the most part, men do not respect women, so you're gonna have to learn how men are wired and what you have to do to get them to do what you want. Okay, a lot of people don't like this lady. She has a YouTube channel, and she talks about men all the time, and how to control their mind and all this stuff, and what women are supposed to do. Now, a lot of people don't agree with her. I can't really say whether to agree with her or not, because I'm not really interested in being with anybody, and I'm not applying what she's saying. So I can't say that she's wrong or she's right. But whatever she's saying and whatever she did must be working for her, whether people find her husband to be attractive or not. You know, she got what she wanted. Whether other people don't like what her husband looked like, she got exactly what she wanted. Okay? And that's what it is. It's about getting what you want. And she understood how the man's brain works. Okay, how the man brain work and how to get what you want. Because, it's not about them respecting you as a woman. It's not about them having the same emotional feelings as a woman have. And that's another thing women have to understand, that these men do not have the same emotional type of feelings that women have. And so they're not going to be all, compassionate like that. That's why you just have to understand how to work them. Okay? Prostitutes can tell you this all day long, and I'm not trying to down prostitutes. I'm just saying they understand the most how a man think. They understand, and the reason why they understand the most how men think is because they're only concerned about getting money. They're not interested in being in love. They're interested in getting money. Okay, or just people in the sex industry, period. Not necessarily prostitutes, but people in the sex industry, period. They understand the most of how men are wired, because they're not interested in falling in love with these men. They're interested in getting what they can get out of them. And because a lot of these people in the sex industry, because they are not emotionally invested in men, they understand more, they understand the most how men think. Okay, and black women need to get this, but the thing is, people have tried to teach them. They just don't want to really learn. A lot of them, for the most part, they just don't want to learn. They just want to do what they want to do. They want to keep doing the same thing and expecting a different set of results. That's just insanity. We all know that, right? That's how black women just want to stay insane, and they want to expect different set of results. But until they understand how men, largely just how men are wired, period, until they, not just the black man, until they understand how men are wired, period, they will never get what they want. They will never get the reciprocity they want, because had black men been white men, like the way they coddle black men, the way they always want to fight for black men and protect black men and provide for black men, well, had they did that to white men would pretty much kind of turn out the same way. White men are the way they are because of the women that gave birth to them. It's just what it is. The women that gave birth to them set standards for them in order to keep that race going. Okay? It is what it is. But anyway, I'll talk to you soon.